Rent versus buy. So I have a guide that I can send over, but I'm just gonna kind of go over some of the points of what is renting versus buying or possibly living on base. So let's go over some of the reasons that you might have for renting or living on base. So you will be in the area less than 2 years and you do not want to use that as passive income as a rental after. You have less than 6 months of active duty and less than 2 years of income proof and not eligible for a VA loan. You've had a foreclosure within the last 3 years. You're within 12 months of your ETS date. So those are some reasons that you either might possibly want to live on base or rent. Just kind of to think about. So some of the reasons that you might want to think about buying is you're going to live in the home longer than 2 years, or you're going to want to create passive income through a rental of that home. You have more than 2 pets. You want to maximize your BAH usage. You want to build equity, and then you're able to customize the home. You can paint, you can change flooring, you can do all of that when you purchase the home versus renting. A tax write-off, and your mortgage payment is often going to be less than renting a home. And I'll also put together a list of homes that are for rent and a list of homes that are for sale that show you kind of what is just an estimate of what would be similar, so you can see what homes are going to be for renting for that price point and what homes are going to be for sale for that same estimated price point. But of course, you always want to talk to a lender to make sure that that is the price point that you're going to be in, that you're comfortable in. But those are some of the big reasons that I see people either renting or buying. But if you always have any questions, I'm always happy to help. One thing about if you are renting, you do have to remember that there are going to be some out-of-pocket fees. So when you're going to rent, you are going to have your security deposit most of the time, first month's rent, a pet deposit, an application fee. Now, if you're going to buy, you do also have out-of-pockets. So you have due diligence, inspections, and closing costs are some of the costs that you're going to see with buying. If you're living on base, you don't see those deposits and things like that, but there are, more restrictions. You're only able to have 2 pets. Base housing, from what I've heard, has a very long wait list and they are pushing people back. So that is something you do. If you're thinking about living on base, you want to make sure you're getting your name in very, very soon, because they are pushed way back and you might have to try to be in temporary housing, which is also really hard right now because there's not a whole lot of temporary housing, or you'd have to go into a hotel or Airbnb and things like that. But those are just some of the things that I see really coming down to if you should rent or buy or live on base. But I'm always happy to talk to you if you have any questions about finding out what is best for you and your family, so that you have all the information so you can make the best choice. But if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help.